Begin with breaking news for you on a powerful and deadly earthquake. It's in Southeast Asia. And take a look at these pictures. They really tell the story. It was 7.7 magnitude quake.
Oh, boy. Whoa.
Caused at least one tower you see under construction to collapse right there on the spot. This was in Bangkok, which, as you know, is the capital of Thailand. Oh, boy. The earthquake was centered just across the border in Myanmar. Anna Corin has the latest for us. Anna, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Gail. That video, absolutely shocking. You can only imagine the terror felt by the people there in Bangkok. Thailand's defence minister says 3 people are dead, 90 are missing, but it is obviously feared that death toll will rise.
Disbelief turned to sheer panic in the streets of Bangkok as a 30-storey skyscraper under construction suddenly collapsed, following a powerful earthquake which sent people in Thailand's capital running for their lives. Officials say the 7.7 magnitude quake hit in neighbouring Myanmar, hundreds of miles away, with the epicentre located near Mandalay, the country's second largest city, on Friday afternoon. There, a mosque was reduced to rubble with worshippers inside, while Mandalay's university was engulfed in thick black smoke. Myanmar's military junta has declared a state of emergency and has made a rare appeal for international aid. Back in Bangkok, eyewitness reports of violent shaking lasting for up to a minute in a city that's home to 17 million people.
7.7 is a crazy magnitude. Also, as I've talked about with Turkey, with both my own personal experiences in Turkey and the recent earthquakes that took place in Turkey and northern Syria, 7.7, especially depending on what kind of ground it's on, but more importantly than that, what kind of infrastructure you have, can be it could be super devastating. And obviously, especially in a place like Myanmar, where I suspect the infrastructure is not designed or built against that sort of thing, that's the reason why you see way more casualties.
People, many who live in high-rise buildings, and felt a 6.4 aftershock just minutes later. Nearby at a shopping centre.
Immediately there was screaming, there was a lot of panic. I just started walking calmly at first, but then the building started really moving.
Video from inside an apartment building shows chandeliers and other household items swaying. People terrified of more aftershocks choosing to wait outside. Water could be seen from the rooftop pool of Bangkok's Intercontinental Hotel gushing out from over the sides as it shook. It's unclear how many people are dead or injured, but officials say dozens of construction workers were believed to be on site of the skyscraper the moment the earth violently shook.
Now, the fact that this earthquake was so shallow, only 6 miles deep, is why it was so violent and felt so far across from Thailand to Myanmar. We haven't heard an official toll from the military junta on deaths or injuries, but the fact they've asked for international assistance is incredibly unusual and perhaps a sign of how desperate the situation is on the ground. Tony.
Dramatic pictures. We'll keep following Anna Corin in Hong Kong for us. Anna, thank you very much.
A massive 7.7 magnitude earthquake rocked Southeast Asia today, followed by a powerful aftershock. It happened near Mandalay, Myanmar, which is the war-torn country's second largest city. That quake reverberated across the region, from Thailand to China. Now, in Myanmar, state TV reports that more than 140 people are now dead, with 730 injured. Buildings were seen swaying, with bridges, roads, and places of worship collapsing. NBC News International correspondent Raf Sanchez joins us now. Raf, just tell us more about the damage and the victims. How bad is it?
It's bad, Joe. Myanmar is suffering what is basically a 1-2 punch here. You have a 7.7 magnitude earthquake, and then just 12 minutes later, 6.4 magnitude aftershock, as you said, rocking the country's second biggest city. The military regime in Myanmar is saying 144 people are dead, 730 injured, but that there may very well be worse to come. And we also saw destruction across the border in Thailand, at least 9 people dead in Bangkok. And at one building site alone, there are currently more than 100 people missing. And I want you to listen to the accounts of some of the survivors from the quake in Bangkok. Take a listen.
I felt myself swaying a little bit, so I thought, okay, this is not quite normal. And just as I was about to start taking things, the shaking was really intense.
I was turning to my boss and I was like, do you feel the same thing? And she's like, yeah, I thought it was me. And then the light started to fall off the floor, the ground, and then we ran down to the building from 25th floor.
So search and rescue operations currently underway. We are expecting the toll to rise on both sides of the border. And Joe, the USGS is saying the ultimate death toll could be in the thousands. Joe.
And Raf, one of the reasons it's been hard to get information out of Myanmar is that it's been tied up in a civil war for the last 4 years. It's controlled by a military government. How are they dealing with this disaster?
So far, they have declared a state of emergency across much of the country. As you say, there are big questions about whether the authoritarian nature of Myanmar is going to hamper the relief efforts. So far, the military regime is saying it is accepting help from neighboring countries, including India, that it's opened up its borders in order to get more aid in. They are applying for, or appealing rather, for blood donations. But as you say, there is an ongoing civil war, especially in the Rohingya region. Questions about whether aid is going to reach.
Why are chatters saying that there is no military mobilization in Myanmar? I don't know what's going on here, but there is. There are still warring factions in parts of the country. It is a military junta, one that is aligned with the Chinese government. They mentioned India, but not China, I assume for that reason. This is true. It's not a false statement. But yes, there are other countries in the region that are also, I suspect, immediately offering aid.
Each areas that the government doesn't control. And we're waiting to see, Joe, whether they will let journalists in and whether they will be transparent about the full scale of damage. Joe.
All right, Raf Sanchez, thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about.
Aftershock forecast says 40% chance of a 6+ in the next week, 90% chance of a 5+. No, you're wrong. China's position on Myanmar has been historically neutral. China, depending on the immediate needs that China has, will oftentimes either arm the militancy against the military junta or directly support the military junta. It's not, no, that's not, to say that they're neutral is incorrect. They definitely support the current government. Having said that, I don't think that has a lot to do with like the aid. L-Take, you're wrong. You're out of your element. Top bozo takes against you. Thank you.